Good morning. It is May 9th, 2012. It is 9:06 a.m. And of course, we are dealing with more overcast skies and more rainfall. I know you want to see the sun. Don't worry, it's going to be a lot better as we head towards this weekend. But we're going to have to deal with a little bit more rain for today. Now, this morning we do have some rain and some fog over much of Connecticut, New York City, Long Island, New Jersey. However, as we move in towards, let's say, eastern Pennsylvania, we do have overcast skies, but at least we don't have steady, moderate to heavy rainfall. Instead, it's a little bit more scattered in nature, a little bit of drizzle, some fog, but not anything like the moderate to heavy rainfall that has been experienced all over much of New Jersey and the New York City metropolitan area, and pretty much of the coast. When you take a look at the visible satellite picture, you can see ahead of the cold front, temperatures are already driving into the 60s. It's very warm out there. Behind the cold front, lower to mid 50s, a few upper 50s as we move closer to that cold front in central Pennsylvania. But more importantly, take a look at the relative humidity here. And you can see behind the cold front, the relative humidity starts to fall off into the 70s and 80s. Ahead of the cold front, relative humidity still in the, upper 90s to lower 100s, which basically means that the atmosphere is saturated. So clearly, we are dealing with a very warm and saturated air mass ahead of this cold front. On the radar this morning, we can clearly see one area of moderate to heavy rainfall slowly starting to exit. You can see more rainfall developing over portions of the Delmarva Peninsula that's going to continue to move to the northeast through much of southern and central New Jersey and towards the New York City metropolitan area and Long Island. The heaviest rainfall, I think, is going to remain focused over southeastern Connecticut, Long Island, and the New Jersey coast. As you move further to the west and northwest over much of northwestern New Jersey, eastern Pennsylvania, the Hudson River Valley, even portions of northern and northwestern Connecticut, drying conditions can be expected for the rest of this morning, and by this afternoon, everyone will see a break from the steady rainfall, but we'll still be dealing with overcast to broken cloud cover and drizzle. More rainfall is on the way, as you can see over the Tennessee River Valley over the southeast. This rainfall is the result of an upper level disturbance, which I'll show in a minute, that will eventually spawn another area of low pressure for this evening and for tonight. On the water vapor satellite picture, I think it's pretty clear where our disturbance is. It's right over the Mississippi River Valley, heading towards the Tennessee-Ohio River Valley. What's going to happen is that this disturbance is going to dive towards this cold front, produce an area of low pressure this evening around the Delmarva Peninsula, basically just off the coast of southern Delaware, and will track to the northeast towards the New England coastal waters. As a result, we'll see periods of moderate to heavy rainfall this evening into the overnight hours and into early Thursday morning. Now, the further west you go, the less likely you'll see the steady rainfall. So I think right along the Delaware River is going to be basically the dividing line between the moderate to heavy rain and the light rain. And as you move further west, that rainfall will become more scattered in nature. So the closer you are to the coast, the more likely you'll see moderate to heavy rain tonight with that low pressure system. The good news is that this is a very progressive pattern, so this storm will exit just as quickly as it's coming in, which means by tomorrow afternoon, most locations will be clearing out with drying conditions, obviously, and temperatures in the upper 60s to mid 70s. So overall, not too bad. Now, I'm using the GFS model guidance from the Penn State EWOL website. The reason why I'm using the GFS today is because pretty much all the models pretty much agree on the forecast for the most part. And I wanted to show you the more of a breakdown of this weather pattern for the next couple of hours. So here we are this morning. Here's our upper level disturbance. The model guidance is handling this disturbance rather well. Here's our weak area low pressure starting to develop, and here's our cold front stalled out. And of course, we have moderate to heavy rainfall that's been falling. This afternoon, I think we'll see a break in that rainfall. You can see that there's some sinking air that has developed over much of New Jersey and the New York City metropolitan area at 500 millibars. And that will lead to a break in the steady rainfall and more of a scattered nature and drizzle. And you can even see at 700 millibars with the moisture that the deepest moisture is off towards New England and off the coast, and here comes our new disturbance. By this afternoon, by this evening, should I say, the upper level disturbance is starting to approach the mid-Atlantic coast, should I say. Our area low pressure starts to become better developed. You can see the moderate to heavy rainfall starting to develop over the southern mid-Atlantic. And then by tonight, around 1 a.m., that disturbance intensifies a little bit as it moves towards the mid-Atlantic coast. Our low pressure system starts to intensify off of the southern New Jersey coast and Delaware coast. And of course, as a result, moderate to heavy rain is focused along the New Jersey coast up towards the New York City metropolitan area. So if you are traveling tonight, be sure to get home before midnight, before this rain really starts to get going. And then by tomorrow morning, as we move towards the morning hours, the majority of that rainfall will exit off the coast, but we're going to still continue to see moderate to heavy rainfall over Connecticut and Long Island tomorrow morning. As you move further west in New Jersey, as you move towards the Delaware River, you'll see that rainfall start to slacken off, especially after 8 a.m. And in fact, by 10 a.m., I think most locations will be drying out with tranquil weather conditions. Now, the great news here is that once this storm exits by tomorrow afternoon with drying conditions, and here's our high pressure system, of course, we're going to be dealing with some winds from the northwest, anywhere from 10 to 15 miles per hour, but we'll also be dealing with a lot of dry air building into the region. So after this storm leaves, well, high pressure is in control for Thursday night, Friday, how about Saturday, and Sunday. So clearly the weekend for Mother's Day weekend is going to be pretty nice with dry conditions, scattered cloud cover, and temperatures in the upper 60s to mid 70s. Could even see a few upper 70s in portions of southwestern New Jersey and southeastern Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, though, the party doesn't last. By the start of next week, another disturbance will be diving towards the Tennessee River Valley. This disturbance will start to cut off because, once again, the stratosphere is cold, and this is the result of that stratospheric influence. So we get an upper level low, once again, developing over the Mississippi River Valley. And because of the position of this upper level low, which is both supported on this model and the European model guidance, we start to draw in a tremendous amount of moisture from the Atlantic Ocean. So here we go once again with the threat for scattered showers, possibly even a few isolated thunderstorms, once again for Monday, Tuesday, and heading into Wednesday. So for the most part, the weekend looks great. Next week, not so much. But the good news is that we'll remain relatively warm in the upper 60s to mid 70s. So that's your forecast for today. Of course, I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. You can follow the latest weather information at nynjpaweather.com and nynjpaweather on Twitter and Facebook. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe out there.